Well, good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. At least a few people that tune in the mornings. Good morning to you. I hope this day finds you well, finds you doing pretty good this morning. And just remember, no matter what happens on this day, it is still a great day to be alive. So let's not waste the day complaining about what happened yesterday. Can't go back and get it. All you can do is move forward and do a little bit better. And thank God that you may not be where you want to be. But I can tell you one thing, you are not where you used to be. So be thankful for that. Good morning to you. As you rise and shine this morning in the capital city of Alabama, Montgomery Court, the temperature outside, believe it or not, it's kind of like a heat wave this morning. It is 42 degrees outside this morning. That's been better than, well, actually, I'm wrong. It's 37 degrees. It's almost 42. I don't know why they keep giving me Prattville. I don't know. But anyway, right now it's 37 degrees outside. The high today is 73 degrees with a low tonight of 42 degrees. The forecast for the rest of the day go as follows. For today, a plentiful sunshine, high 73 degrees, winds light and variable. For tonight, a 5% chance of precipitation, clear sky, low around 42 degrees, winds light and variable. On tomorrow, according to the weatherman, there's a 6% chance of precipitation. Uh, Much sun, but mainly sunny, high around. Oh, let me make sure I read that correctly. Let me see if I read that correctly. High tomorrow around 80 degrees. Whoa, heat wave. Okay, let's hope that it stays with us a while. 80 is good. Anything above 80, I'm getting kind of weary. Although I will admit, after living in Honolulu for all those years, I'm glad to see cold weather and hot weather and warm weather and cool weather. Over there, we had perfect weather. And I'm probably the only person ever complaining about perfect weather in Honolulu. But I needed to know what time of year it was. Over there, you couldn't tell because it was the weather, same weather all the time. Okay, anyway, so Metro, again, right now, today it's going to be a high of 82 degrees, low tonight of 52 degrees. But today, mostly, unless the good Lord changes his mind, mostly it is going to be a sunny day. And when the sun comes out, it always changes people's attitude. You see, the good Lord, and it was doing a lot of conversation going on about UFOs in America right now. Listen, okay, I don't know why everybody's I mean, as long as they ain't shooting rockets at us or anything like that, there's nothing wrong with UFOs. I mean, I know some UFOs be walking around here. Okay, I mean, behind the kite, unidentified flying object. Yeah, I see that. So let's not get all upset, but we can talk a little bit about UFOs if you want to. My guest today, supposedly, Pastor Knight, um, at some point, at some point in time in the next hour. Let me see, write that on my board here. Okay, Pastor. Okay, Knight. I don't know who ever thought about putting a K on the end of night. I mean, in night. I mean, what's wrong with just Night? Okay, but people always got to have their own little way of spelling things. Okay. All right then. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds everybody well. And again, as you rise and shine this morning, it is 40 degrees outside right now? 37 degrees outside right now. But don't worry about it. Today it's going to be warm. How warm is it going to be? It's going to be so warm that, well, you add, 80 degrees. That is outstanding weather. And it's almost spring. Now somebody's going to be complaining about 80 degrees today. A couple of days ago, we were talking about how bad Alabama Power was for sticking us with these high bills because they say we use more power, but most of us really didn't. But that's okay. We can get into that conversation some other day. Anyway, good morning to you. UFOs. Do you believe they exist? And if they do exist, okay, all right. I mean, good. Okay, in the Bible it says God made the heavens and the earth. The earth is for us earthlings. Okay, there may be. I mean, think about this for a second. Why in the world would good Lord build all of this universe, everything, and the only thing is that it is us? Come on. All right. He didn't say that. He didn't say in the beginning, uh, the Lord created heaven and earth, and the only people going to be anywhere in the universe is those human beings down there, always hurting each other, killing each other, shooting at each other, always at war. Okay. He didn't say that. So I'm not surprised that there may be some other folks out there, well, folks, whatever you want to call them, other people out there, other entities out there, other species out there. You know, we haven't even figured out everything that is in the ocean yet. So how in the world are we going to figure out what's up in the universe? I don't think. I mean, Star Trek is a good movie. Star Trek is good. Okay, but you know, they really didn't go all them places. Okay, Star Trek, Captain Kirk, Spock, you know, and Bones, they didn't go all those places. That was just a good. Whoever came up with Star Trek they came up with a great program. I like them all. Anyway, let me shut up and get this party started this morning. But I'm just saying. So don't be all freaked out if there are UFOs. Don't be freaked out. As long as they ain't coming for me, we good.
We change the world in history right here where we're from. It's no beginning to you and me, 'cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done.
And good morning to you. Next up, of course, it is our daily bread, a word from on high. Something that will, well, shall we say, change your perspective, or at least maybe give you another one. Okay? So, hang loose there. We'll be back in a little bit here. And if you guys want to talk about UFOs this morning or whatever the case may be, feel free to do that. But I got a lot of things to talk about. But the Alabama legislature is moving right along, bringing it to us as they go. So we'll be back. Right back after this.
Thank you, Lord, for every breath I take, for the love that heals, and the
Oh yeah, they get haircut. That's not. I was trying to cut my own hair the other day. Yeah, it didn't work out too good, so I had to go to the pros. Good morning to you. Hope this day is a blessing to you, your family, everybody that you know.
Through valleys deep and mountains high, your faith a beacon in the sky.
We're glad you could join us for today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional. Our reading is titled Sweeter Than Honey, and it was written by Amy Boucher Pye. On Chicago Day in October 1893, the city's theaters shut down because the owners figured everyone would be attending the World's Fair. Over 700,000 people went, but Dwight Moody wanted to fill a music hall at the other end of Chicago with preaching and teaching. His friend, R.A. Torrey, was skeptical that Moody could draw a crowd on the same day as the fair. But by God's grace, he did. As Torrey later concluded, the crowds came because Moody knew the one book that this old world most longs to know, the Bible. Torrey longed for others to love the Bible as Moody did, reading it regularly with dedication and passion. God, through His Spirit, brought people back to Himself at the end of the 19th century in Chicago, and He continues to speak today. We can echo the psalmist's love for God and His scriptures as he exclaims in Psalm 119, "How sweet are your words to my taste, sweeter than honey to my mouth." For the psalmist, God's messages of grace and truth acted as a light for his path, a lamp for his feet. How can you grow more in love with the Savior and His message? As we immerse ourselves in Scripture, God will increase our devotion to Him and guide us, shining His light along the paths we walk. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Psalm 119, verses 97 through 105. Oh, how I love your law! I meditate on it all day long. Your commands are always with me and make me wiser than my enemies. I have more insight than all my teachers, for I meditate on your statutes. I have more understanding than the elders, for I obey your precepts. I have kept my feet from every evil path, so that I might obey your word. I have not departed from your laws, for you yourself have taught me. How sweet are your words to my taste, sweeter than honey to my mouth. I gain understanding from your precepts. Therefore, I hate every wrong path. Let's pray. Oh God, what beautiful words from Psalm 119. May your word truly be a lamp for our feet and a light to our path. Through the power of the Holy Spirit, help us to follow you on the path you've laid before us. May we serve you faithfully today, tomorrow, and all the days you have us here on this earth. Thank you, Lord. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Time to rise and shine, people. righty then. Good morning. How's everybody doing? I should turn on the camera, shouldn't I? But I'm like Denzel and nothing like that. So I try to keep my face out of it when I can. Good Lord bless me with a fantastic brain, but when he said time to get looks, I thought he said you need to book, so I left. But anyway, a whole different story. That's a whole different ball game. Okay, come on. How's everybody doing? Wow. It's yesterday was a big day in America because finally, somebody has decided that Americans need to know that they are UFOs. They are you. I mean, I never had any doubt. Me personally, I never had any doubt. Oh, my haircut. Yeah, my haircut looks good. Yeah, get to my man down there, down to the Platinum Place down there on the road. I see. I took a pair of I took a pair of those things and started cutting my hair, but I couldn't see the back. So and then I couldn't see the other side. So I just started cutting, and then I looked in the mirror, like scared myself. It was so messed up. Good morning, Randy. My hair was so messed up until I had to go. So I actually ended up spending more for the haircut than I normally do because I went and bought my own clippers and my own pliers. What do you call those things? So I bought my own, and then I tried to cut my hair, and now not only did I cut it badly, I paid money to cut it badly, and then I had to go pay money to the pros to fix me up. Okay, yeah, I had to do that. So I'm just going to. Morning there, Dr. Joe. I appreciate that name too, L Dog. I love that name. That's the name I use online now. Pay for convenience. That's true. So that when I go to websites, I ain't got no business going to. I'm the L Dog. So no. I don't go to them kind of websites. I don't. I'm okay. When I was young, I did. I don't. I mean, I can't lie about that. But I was just doing research, okay, for my radio show. So I'd have to go there to those websites to. Yeah, you did. I know you did. I have to go there I had to go to those websites to know what I was talking about. Okay, I had to. I mean, for a while I was investigating what's called Backpage. See, I was investigating, and I investigated it at least for like 90 days. Every day I'd go there and see what was going on. Okay. So I could inform the law enforcement people what was going on. Okay. Yeah. So and that's the only reason I went there. I was getting information for the radio show, Backpage. I don't know if you remember Backpage. I think it's gone now. But they had a lot of hookups on Backpage. And how do I know? Because I investigated it. Okay. And then somebody said something about Playboy. So I would have to go to their website to investigate them to see whether or not they were abiding by our rules of in Alabama, because we different from everybody else. I mean, we say something. We don't really mean it when we say it, but we say it because it sounds good. We think we're getting extra points in heaven. Okay, we talk about alcohol, but then we turn around and on COVID, one of the most devastating events in our history, we closed everybody but the alcohol store. So I couldn't figure that one out for all the tea in China. Okay, so alcohol's bad for you. Okay, but we're gonna leave the alcohol store open. So I guess if you got to sit home and look at your old lady now, who you haven't really looked at in a long time, and she ain't really looked at you in a long time, because when y'all see each other, it's nighttime, it be dark. So I understand, but now it's daytime. You got to look at her. She got to look at you. Y'all need something to drink. Okay, I feel you. I know that one. But anyway, so saying that, I just say this. I stay out of those places you ought not go to. Okay, I'm just saying you might want to do that. Okay, again, unless you're doing research. Then I understand. Okay. Unless you're doing research. Okay, then I'm good. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well. I enjoyed those guys the other day about Alabama Power. Now I don't know if we are. I think the lady sent me a message yesterday saying that she wasn't quite sure about the satellite in China. Okay, I'm good. See, I like that when people say, well, we may not be totally sure because I say a lot of things sometimes I don't really know what I'm talking about. And hey, why can't somebody else do that every once in a while? Okay, I do it. You do. We all do it. We all say things because we want to be the smartest guy in the room. Okay, jiggle. What's a jiggle joint? Oh, okay. Okay. Anyway, so move right on to other things. Um, let's talk about this for 1 second, but not one. A couple of seconds. Oh, who's coming in? Oh, yeah. I know this. This is Josh. All right, guys, hold up on all those things that you think you know. I forgot. I gotta get my man here from Hope Inspired Ministries because I was supposed to do it yesterday and I didn't do it, and now we're going to do it today. Morning, Josh.
Hey, good morning, Kevin. How are you?
So tell the folks who you are, where you're from, what you do, why you do it.
I'm with Hope Inspired Ministries. I'm a site director out at the Department of Youth Services campus, and I work with the incarcerated youth mainly from the age of 17 to 20.
Mm-hmm. John's coming on with us too. Well, that's nice for him to join us. Morning, John.
Good morning, Kevin. We heard you talking about UFOs and we had to get in and cut you off.
Well, anyway, this is John Bowman. John Bowman is the what we call you, the big cheese out there, the big boss, the chief executive officer. Is that what we call you?
I know the guy.
Okay.
Him.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah. But he's
when you said UFOs, we talk about identified flying objects, and those are God's creations, and that's what our future leaders, or some may call them students, are at Hope Inspired Ministries, and they all have a purpose. Mm-hmm. So we're excited to talk about them, and especially with Josh Stokes is one of our site directors that actually covers 2 sites, but one unique one is Alabama Department of Youth Services. So we wanted him to come on today and talk about what he does as well.
Okay. Well, then let's talk about it. Hope Inspired Ministries. Give us a little history of Hope Inspired Ministries, what your mission is, what your goal is.
Yeah. So Hope Inspired Ministries, we're workforce development with a heavy dose of social work. And, we had graduation yesterday, and I just wrote down what this guy said so I could share it here. But Joe was this guy's name that graduated, is doing phenomenal. He has an addiction background, which brought him to us. But before he came, he said, he thought he was too far gone. And there's so many people out there that think they're too far gone, and that means that they've lost hope. And he came into the program. And so while we teach workforce development through a relational approach, that we're able to pour into them and really let them know that God created them on purpose and for a purpose. And, by the end of Joe's speech, he said something that just really resonated. He said that he was told that he was nothing. And he said, "You're right. Nothing like I used to be." And that's the beauty of individuals that come, and when the staff love on them, pour into them, we do devotion with them every day. They leave with hope. Come in without hope and leave with hope, knowing they got a purpose and that God created all of us on purpose and for a purpose. It's a huge thing that allow them to go out and be successful in the workforce. And our end goal is that they're self-sufficient. We do it by 3 words: recruit, train, employ. Jesus met people where they were, and that's what we do when we recruit. We meet people where we are. Me, Josh, and the Lowndes County crew went out walking the housing authority properties, recruiting people, meeting them right where they are physically, but also spiritually, and then bringing them in, training them, teaching them. And that's what Jesus did as well, just teaching them. And then that E piece, employ, when they send them out. And that's what we do. We send them out into the workforce. And I'll let Josh kind of talk about the incarcerated, but even coming out of incarceration, there's a transition period that you hear so many times. People go back to prison or back to lockup. We want to lower recidivism rate, and he's done a phenomenal job at doing that.
Josh, just one question about working at the DYS. I think it's where you work at.
Mhm.
Are they old enough to understand that this is a chance to get it straight, or are they being manipulative, getting in the program to somehow curry favor with with the authorities? How do you root that out?
That's a great question because I think we get a little bit of both, in our students. On average, going through our program, we do 12 students during that 9-week program. That way, we can have smaller classrooms so you can really have a connection. And I'd say it's split. We have the students who you can tell they kind of, they don't know much about the program. They're just there. You're right, just to put something on paper, be able to show something, and those are kind of my favorite students. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the students that want to be there, that are soaking it in, but I kind of want to go after the ones that don't quite know why they're there yet. Um, and so I have 9 weeks to change your mind about that. And we've had a successful run with that. We've had 7 students, HIM graduates, be released from youth services custody in the last 4 months, and 6 out of the 7 are employed, and we're super happy about that, because one thing that we have the opportunity to do is after they're released, we get to have follow up with them and check on them, check with their family, make contact with their family, see how they're doing, get them plugged into one of our other locations if we need to. If they leave and they don't have their driver's license or something like that, we help them get the things that they need for the success. And one thing that my life coach that works with me on my team, she does a tremendous job with setting them up to where when they complete our program, they're graduating into the HIM program, not out of the HIM program. And throughout the time that they're still in the youth services at Mount Meigs, they're still in the HIM program. We follow up with them. We have more curriculum. We have more classes. That way they can further until they're released. That way they don't lose that fire. They don't lose that desire. And our biggest thing is we're going after the mind and we're going after the heart. And we know that if we can change that, that's real life change.
Yeah. What is a youth in the program? What do you call? What is the age limit? The youngest to the oldest in the program for both of you guys program, and but out there with you, what is the average age limit for kids out there, young folks out there?
Out there with us, it ranges from 16 to around 20. That's our age range, and they're all in between. We try and recruit, so it's a voluntary program, out there, and so we kind of still have to go recruit our students. And when we do that, we're looking for the ones that are a year out from being released. That way, we can change that mindset, and then soon after they'll be released, and be able to take what they learned and use it. We don't want to get new students, younger students, and then they still have a couple years left, and then they kind of lose that desire, lose that fight.
Yeah. And on the outside campus, we typically serve 18 and up, but we have had some judges that send us some 17-year-olds that were not able to go back to school. So we've received those into the program, but the average age of our students is between 34 and 54. So,
But you can be older, I guess. If
right. Yep. We've had some to come in, 65. I think I've known some over 65, and a lot of those are coming off the street homeless. And even the guy that I gave the quote from, he was homeless. And he was, I don't know his age, but he was appeared to be older than me. But it's never too late to come in and get it right. It's never too late to hit the reset button in life.
Okay, hold on. So let me say this. Hey, you want to talk to John? Okay, did y'all hear?
I couldn't hear him.
Mm-mm. We can't hear him.
Well, he said that his this is Chase, and he said his mother well, she passed, but she Vicky's Lunch Wagon, which is across the
Yes.
street from you guys, and you guys are one of her favorite local organization that actually reached out because you guys certainly make a difference. I mean, there are a lot of people. When I would look at the city council meeting, there are always all these people saying, "We need money for this, we need money for that, we need money for this." And listen, I would imagine that they all try to do something, but I don't know anybody that makes a difference, a permanent difference most of the time, uh, in the people that you encounter. There's an obvious transition. You give people hope, and you give them the life, the spring of life. I mean, you give, because when people walk through that door, sometimes, I mean, like the guy said, people said you're nothing. Well, but he said, yeah, nothing that I used to be. I kind of like that. I'm gonna use that with myself. Um,
Yeah.
So the ages of people can be for the you on the DOS thing. You get all your people out of the program, right, Josh?
Yes.
Okay. So we can't be volunteering for that one, I guess.
Right.
Well, you volunteer, but not.
Well,
regular.
Kevin, you always say, there's the caught and then the uncaught,
Right.
right. And we all make mistakes,
Yes. Yeah.
but the, one of the most beautiful things about what Josh does is the opportune time for those young men to re-enter society and not go to adult lockup. They have the ability to serve up to 21 as a youth. And they're really, God's given them a second chance. And some of these young men out there are saying, "Hey, I want that second chance. Will you help me?" And to have 6 of 7 of the last released get employment, that's huge. But the bigger picture is, they're not going back to society, or not going back to incarceration in adult prison. And even out there, there's a ripple effect to changing one life. Yesterday at the graduation, not at the DYS, it was another campus, but this guy was giving his speech, and there was this little girl that kept yelling during it, but it was her child. It was his child. So the power of changing one life, you have the ability to change a family as well. And I know Josh has seen that too.
Kevin, it's amazing when you get to see these, 17 to 20-year-olds. We see everything that we see on the news, and as a society, I think sometimes we make assumptions that these kids should know better, they should do better. What are they doing? And a lot of times, in a lot of cases, they don't. And when they come through our program, we have to tell them at the beginning. I have to sit down with them and tell them, you're going to start feeling something inside. You're going to start feeling this pull and push and this ripping of yourself inside. And what that is hope. And what if these kids have never experienced that before in their life? What if they've never had a mentor? What if they've never had a leader in their life to be able to show them right from wrong? And when they go through this program and they can feel themselves being ripped apart from their old self to their new self, it's an amazing transformation. And when they choose that new self, that's the thing. Just like every day, we have to choose joy. We have to choose peace that Christ gives us. That's what we instill this in them, but they still have to choose it on a daily basis, especially when they get out. They have to choose it.
Yeah. Speaking on choosing, let's say somebody's listening right now, looking at whatever they're doing, and they want to get in contact with your guy. They got their nephew or their husband or their brother or their sister or somebody. They need a different direction. How do they reach you guys?
Well, there's a website, hopeinspiredministries.org. And we try to make it as easy as possible. You can click to sign up for a program there. And, somebody will get back in touch with you. Of course, you can, in Montgomery, you can call 649-4330. And I know you're, across the state as well, but you can call that number and, in essence, say where you are and see if we have a campus close enough to you to serve as well.
And let's talk about that other part of the program that is so important. and that's to have local business people, local employers who are willing to, I mean, we talk about hope. Well, hope must be manifested in what we do. And if we have local employees that are willing to work with Hope Inspired Ministries, you know, that would be good because these kids, some of these people, believe it or not, some of these people never really had a regular job.
Mm.
They've been hustlers, you know, and hustle, I mean, do whatever I got to do. Well, then that's fine, but you can't put it on a resume. Okay.
Yeah.
So we need businesses out there and people, individuals, who are willing to give these young people a chance to come in and show what structure looks like. Because a lot of us never really had structure. Okay, I got mine from the United States Army, and that wasn't for that, I don't know where I'd be. But a lot of these folks, they can't get in the Army. They can't. I mean, if they could, they would have been there already. Well, some of them wouldn't. But also, you guys provide something that I think you're the only people in town to do this. You provide a meal at least a meal a day. If you're in the program, somebody uh, has to provide those meals, and you guys do it, and we do that in conjunction with other people in Montgomery. So tell people how can people help you guys on your mission?
Yeah. Well, one of our greatest lunch providers is a guy named Kevin Elkins. So thank you, Kevin, providing that lunch. But Jesus did this in the Bible. He used food as, almost a magnet, but what he was doing was he met their physical need first. And then through meeting their physical need, they were able to receive the spiritual need that they had. So every day at lunch, we have volunteers like you, Kevin, and one of our board members provided food yesterday, the Wharf Seafood. And I'll never forget, I wasn't there. I was at the graduation in Coleman, but one of our students one time was when Chuck brought the food. He FaceTimed a guy and said, "Look at the food they have here. You need to come." So they use that as, hey, you come up here and get you food. But in the process of coming to food, just like Jesus did, they're going to hear the things that they need to hear to be successful in life. So the food is an incredible thing. And I want to take a moment, too, to talk about a fundraiser that we have. We're doing something, and Josh mentioned 6 of 7 who had gotten out are now working. Well, statistically, if you look at the costs of unemployed individual, it costs the state, city, government about $35,000. Well, on average, our students came out last year making $36,000. So that's $71,000 impact on the community. And it cost us about $2,500 to get a student through. No cost to the student, but it's obviously a cost to us. But we're doing a unique campaign. And Chase mentioned Vicky. She was such a sweet lady and provided lunch for us numerous times. It was our neighbor. We hated to see her pass, but food insecurities is one of those things that affects so many. So our fundraiser that we're currently in is called Meals to Mission. And we're going to raise money to help support the life change at Hope Inspired Ministries, but we're also going to be packing 20,000 meals to go back into the community. We're going to be partnering with Heart of Alabama Food Bank, but we're also going to send a large portion of meals to the country of Jamaica that was affected by the hurricane last year. And of those meals, each one is going to a Christian orphanage down there, that every meal that goes out, they will hear about the love of Jesus. They'll hear about the hope. And Willie put in the comments, Willie Durham, that people need hope. So this is a way to deliver hope, not only to our backyards where it's needed, but also out to the world. But you can go on our website. We would love to have you participate in that. I know Kevin's got a site he'd love for you to donate to as well. But we're also going to be doing a large, massive packing of these thousands of meals. We'll be doing it on April the 10th. And if you'd love to volunteer, participate in that, we need a lot of hands to make that happen. So we would love to if they want to reach out to me, talk to me directly, I'd love to talk to them.
Okay. So, Josh, what's your day? So I would assume all these people that you deal with live on campus.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So they get a good dose of you.
Yes, they do. We're there. We're there 5 days a week. We mirror their school system schedule, so we've got them most of the daytime, during the week.
Mm-hmm. And the nice thing about one of the nice things you guys do when they graduate, this is not some sit at the table, get a cup of Kool-Aid, and see you later.
Yeah.
Y'all don't do that.
Right.
It really is a graduation. It really is.
Mhm.
It's like commencements. A lot of people don't even know what the word commencement means, but it means a beginning
Yeah.
of something, and it is a commencement. So when they leave Hope Inspired Ministries, and you guys give certificates, they actually wear the little thingamajigger on the head. Whatever they
They
call
got
it.
the cap and gown and everything. And it's funny you mentioned that. So out of our last class that graduated, we had 7 that graduated. One of the particular students got released from DYS a couple days before graduation. He was extremely upset that he wasn't going to actually be able to be there for our graduation. But we assured him, like I said, we follow up with these students afterwards.
Mhm.
We're going to go down to where he is in rural Alabama, bring his cap and gown. He's got his certificate. He got his achievements. He got all that. He took that with him. He's ready to go. He's one of the 6 out of the 7 that got employment. He was released on a Tuesday. Wednesday, he had a job. He didn't take one day off. But we're going to go down there and we're going to make contact with him and we're going to put him in his cap and gown and take pictures. He wanted a picture of himself in a cap and gown. He's never had that.
Right.
That's another thing we're providing is that.
Yeah, there was a great football coach. I don't know if it was Stallings or Bear Bryant or somebody said that losing as well as winning becomes a habit.
Mm.
And then once you get into that habit of winning, of accomplishing something, it's easy for the next one at a time. And so if Hope Inspired Ministries is the first place you've been, you actually accomplished something.
Mm.
That gives you the energy and the motivation to continue on accomplishing things. And I appreciate what you guys do too. Cap and gown. I don't think I ever did that actually. I was in high school and I kind of like left the door one day and didn't go back. But I did give a GED, take a college course here or there. But there's something special about wearing that tassel and that hat and that black, unless you think you're a judge, and then that's a whole different story. But it's something special about being in the midst of your peers.
It really is.
Being counted out,
Mm.
and now look at you.
Yeah.
That motivates you to do the next task, and then the next task, and the next task. And so let Hope Inspired Ministries be your first task that you complete. Okay?
Absolutely.
And all you have to do is get on, go to the web. Of course, a lot of them don't have, I guess you can on your phone. HopeInspiredMinistries.com, I think, or it's a .org. .org, and go check it out. And another thing, even if you don't think that your life experiences are worthy of talking about, call up to Hope Inspired Ministry. There are people sitting there who need to hear what you've been through.
Mm.
So they know that they can make it too. Okay. I mean, we all riding around in a Lexus now, but I remember the times I was riding around in a Duster that was smoking all the way down the road, and nobody ever gets to see that part. They see the part in the Lexus. Now I haven't got a Lexus yet, but
yeah. Well, Kevin, we all need hope, and just Josh talking about going down to see this young man, just to put a cap and gown on and take a picture of him. That's relational.
Yeah.
We all need people in our corner pushing us and encouraging us, and that's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to provide a meal for these young folks, or you can come talk to them. You will be surprised. Words have power.
Yeah.
Words have power. The Bible's full of words, and taken in the proper context with a little work behind them, you can do wonderful things. And Hope Inspired Ministry, John Bowman and Josh, they are there to help you. And again, you always need somebody to help with the meals. Those meals cost a little bit of money, and we don't mind somebody out there. And I got the number on the thing here, so you can 649-4330. Whoever answers the phone, say I want to provide a meal for one of the class. And believe me, it'll help you more than it helps them. Okay. Because you making it. We all do lots of things that we're not sure whether or not it made a difference or not. Trust me, everything you do for Hope Inspired Ministry makes a difference. And John Bowman sees to that, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
He used to be a policeman, so I don't want to cross him, so he may have to have buddies down there or something like that. Anyway, well, guys, I appreciate you coming on, talking to us today. So you can't now. The only way you get to see Josh is you or your kids got to be in trouble, but that's okay. Josh is going to help you along the way. If you get out there, all you got to do is have be willing to work hard and have a willing heart.
That's it.
And they will make a difference in your lives. John Bowman, who's the executive director, I exactly don't know the executive director. That's a lot of letters before your name. I don't know what that means. I think it means he's the head bottle cook and washer, whatever it means out there. But I know.
Well, I'm the maintenance man, Kevin. I'm the IT guy, which my IT solutions a lot of times call Kevin.
Yeah, that's true.
And Kevin gives great advice. So I was the yard guy, but I gave that up.
Okay. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining us this morning. Again, that number is mostly everything's being done on websites now. But if you one of them old people like me, women like John, you may want to just pick up the phone and call, and then they can get you in the right direction. And we have one of the greatest staffs of people who are willing to help you, not because it's their job, because it is their heart.
Yes.
What they want to do. So, and that number is 649-4330. I'll leave it on there for a little while longer, let people get that. But John Bowman, Josh, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Kevin.
And if
y'all called us today because Kevin always asked, did anybody call?
Yeah, at least give me one person to call, And so no matter what happens in your life, you can always go to him.
That's right. It. Amen.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate your time.
Have a great day. Well, I appreciate your time. I need you more than you need me.
Thank you, Kevin.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
See you later. Kick me off your screen there, and there we go. Anyway, Hope Inspired Ministries. I'm on the board of that organization, and I've never been on an organization that's dedicated to doing what they do. And they do make a difference. Give Meals on Wheels. Well, sure. Yeah. Meals. I used to work at Meals on Wheels. I used to go out and take dinner to people and stuff like that, a lunch or whatever we were taking that day. I kind of loved it too. Kind of liked that you get to meet people in their own element, and you get to talk to people who probably won't have many people to talk to that day. So you get by. And so if you don't have anything to do, and you're older, Meals on Wheels is always looking for somebody to come out and take meals to older people. I'm trying to figure what older is now, though. Am I an older person now? I don't know. I don't know. But there are some people who just need that human connection. And Meals on Wheels allows us to have that human connection with people. But anyway, good morning to you. Give the Meals on Wheels telethon a shout out today too. Okay, yay, right on for the Meals on Wheels. All right, what else is going on? Okay, John. Okay, again, that number for Hope Inspired Ministry is 649-4330. Of course, area code 334-649-4330. And sometimes, listen, if you don't have money for a meal, but you come talk to those kids about, not some of them ain't kids, you come talk to those people about your life experience, because some people think they're the only one going through anything. And trust me, everybody, whether it's now or later, everybody will go through something. Okay. And they need to hear about what you went through. Okay. Now, moving right along to other things, we were talking. What were I talking about a little while ago? Oh yeah, we were talking about. What is today? Today is, believe it or not, today is National Let's Laugh Day. Everybody needs a laugh. Everybody needs some humor in their life. So today is that day. Also, it is Chocolate Caramel Day. Okay, which I don't. I mean, I thought chocolate and caramel was the same thing, but I guess not. Okay, so and it's also Macaroon Day. I don't know what a macaroon is, but it's that day in America today. Macaroon, or maybe that just short for macaroni. I don't know, but anyway, they say that's what day it is. All right, the numbers here, of course, are what is the number here? Get that off of there. Okay. The numbers here are 521-2963. If you got something on your mind, let's make this. And don't forget I forget to tell people, I've been trying to figure out how to put all these shows on YouTube. And I was trying to do it last night. Man, I was all confused. Then I tried to cut my own hair. That didn't work out. So yesterday was a tough day for me. And so I'm just saying, it cost me double. I went out and bought the clippers for my hair, couldn't get it done. Had to end up going to the barber shop anyway. So should have saved that money. Anyway, coming up sometime in the next hour, I think we're going to have Pastor Knight. He's going to be with us. But here's something that happened at the what do they call it? The House of Representatives today. Legislation establishing up to $1,000 state tax deduction for overtime compensation passed the House Ways and Means and Education Committee yesterday. The bill, which is up by Representative James Lomas, a Republican from Huntsville, would establish Alabama individual income tax a deduction for qualified overtime compensation to not exceed $1,000 per taxpayer. Okay. Whatever that means. I guess that means they're not going to tax. If you make up to $1,000 in overtime, it won't be taxed. Which I don't. I guess that's okay. I guess I don't know. But now, also, there is now here's a story that I think is kind of prejudice in a way. I think this is kind of prejudice. Down in Mobile County, there was a murder down there, and family members, and they had to put in it illegal immigrant. I think that's predatory. I think, listen, does it really make a difference whether the guy was here illegally or whether he was here his whole life? It's a heinous crime. Okay, I just think sometimes we try to prejudice against people who are not from here, and I just really don't have a problem with people until somebody can really explain it to me. There's only one thing that I can think of that immigration somewhat affects. We do need to send Iliar, Omar, and Talib. We need to send them back where the hell they came from. But other than that, though, everybody else is welcome. Okay, after being read all the charges against him, the man arrested for the murder of 3 people in Mobile County and the disposal of their bodies in Baldwin County pleaded not guilty. I said this trial goes. Newly filed court documents outline horrifying details about what investigators believe to have happened to the family. And I can't pronounce the guy's name. No sense in doing that, but I know it's Hector. I can understand Hector. That's the only name. He got like 4 of them. He got 4 names, but Hector and his last name is Guerrero, an illegal immigrant. I don't think that we need to put that there. I really don't. I think because then what we do, then we lump all people here that quote unquote illegally as they possibly could be murderers and stuff like that. I think that's unfair. I think that's unfair. I think so. So I'm going to call 1819 News and tell them, we don't need that kind of stuff. Just say, give his name. I got no problem with that. And what he did. But illegal. I sound like a Democrat sometimes, don't I? But again, I ain't mad at Democrats. Not all of them, anyway. There's just some that kind of go way out the beaten path, but not really. Okay. Here's something else that's going on in Alabama right now. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of cities, and Gulf Shores and something is one of those cities that don't want people coming to their city for spring break. And it seems that spring break is getting worse and worse and worse. And a guy yesterday told us, well, only one, that wasn't a gunshot. That was somebody dropping a water bottle. Well, they dropped that same water bottle 5 times. They had 5 shootings, okay, down in Florida, Daytona Beach the other day, okay? And you know who was doing the shooting. You know who was doing it, okay? At least that's what they say anyway. So let's not act like you can actually, a water bottle falling down 5 times sounds like a gun. They had guns, okay? And I don't know what happened to our culture in this country. What happened to it? Seriously, what happened? Well, we know what happened, but we can't talk about it because every time we bring it up, nobody says, well, you're conflating 2 different issues. But we know what's happening. We know what happened. It's not something that's new, but it is something that we seem to be losing control of. And what's happening in America is that we are, like Malcolm said, the chickens are coming home to roost when it comes to this single parent thing. Well, actually, there's no such thing as a single parent, single custodial parent, because every child needs 2 parents. I mean, you got them, whether you want them or not. You don't get to choose them, but you got them. It's a subject that's persona non grata. We can't talk about it because that's not and it's not the first time this has happened. This has happened when I was born in 1957, so it was happening then also. But we seem to it has proliferated to the point. My Lord, if you find a child and know his daddy, you celebrate and you want to shake his hand because fathers are just Now the question is, are the women, like Charlie Kirk said, are the women truly divorcing the men and marrying the government? Okay, and if this is what we got to look forward to, then we in some super duper trouble because Charlie Kirk said, "Listen, you can't get in bed with the government and in bed with the man too. So you got to have one or the other." And we already know the government right now screws you anyway, whether you're in bed with them or not. But now you volunteer. Listen, don't voluntarily, okay, be screwed, glued, and tattooed by the government. But I agree with him. Yeah. Now it's a conversation that we in America we just can't have because we just can't have it because that means if we had it, we'd have to do something about it. And the question is, what could you do about it? That's the question. Well, somebody came up with a great answer. If your child gets in trouble and he's a male child, no matter who he lives with, if he lives with the mama, he should be automatically given to the father. And if you can't find the father, put a warrant out for him for abandonment of his child. Okay, just put a warrant out for him. He got Social Security number someplace. And ladies, you need to make sure, again, you need a sign-in sheet by the bed. Okay, if you can't figure out who it is, you need a sign-in sheet by the bed. So therefore, 18 years from now or 16, when he's 16, we won't say, well, I don't know who your daddy is. Well, when was he born? If you get hot and bothered that much and you got to have a different guy all the time, well, just put him on a sign-in sheet. And then we have some way of trying to figure out who it is. Okay, I'm just saying. So that's what we need to do. And again, some judge in Montgomery mentioned this the other day. We really need to start giving these men their children. Let them raise them for you. From 6 years old. Well, how old you got to go when you go to school? Yeah, you got to go to school. I don't know the age. I think 6 years old. If their child messes anytime between the age of 6 and 12, if they screwing up, then they make it mandatory that their father raise them. Seriously, make it and trust me. After having to sit in the house with your kids all day long, keep them from putting forks in the electrical socket and getting up in the middle of the night, telling me I got to go to the bathroom and all that stuff. Trust me, you'll be glad to go to work and send a check, okay, and be involved in that live. But that's what we need to do. We need to start giving these men the legal um, the legal charge of their children. And I guarantee you, some of this stuff that we got going on won't be going on. Won't be going. And we need to start. If a parent child has a record of bad behavior, and they have not chosen to get help from these organizations, DHR, whatever these organizations are, if they haven't chosen to get help, then we need to put them in jail for abandonment also, because discipline is just as much a part of raising a child as anything else. Okay, let me put it this way: would you go all day long without feeding your children? A week? How about a week? No, you're not going to do that, because you know the child needs to eat. And if you don't give the child some food, then what's going to happen is that he's going to go hungry. Well, if you don't give your child some discipline, he's going to go crazy. Okay. And then that's on you. And we as society are the people that will take the blunt of that craziness. Okay. So I think I got something going on here. I think we should do that. Yeah. Yeah, Don.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure
Because it paints all illegal people here, quote unquote, who are here illegally. It paints them with a broad brush, and there's some people here who are here illegally who just work their butts off and just work and take care of the kids. They ain't out there killing nobody. But it. But what about the people? What about the people that are here? Right. But we got people here that murder people. Yeah. Joji. Oh yeah. Hmm. It's culture. It's a behavior. Right. Well, there's some truth to that too. That would be funny if it weren't partly true. Yeah, yeah. Listen, I don't, I don't. You just need a softer tone. That's what it is. Oh, you can't.
you could have Kabila call me racist all day long, but it don't
Mhm.
bother me. In fact, you know, you talking about the bars being open during COVID. Can
Yeah.
you imagine being married to somebody like Camilla and not be able to drink? That's an emergency.
Okay, Don. That's what I figure out. So, hey, listen, guys. If the sound goes out, and while I'm talking, just send me a note on the sidebar and say, "Hey," because I'm looking at 15 different articles, 15 different things, and sometimes I can't remember to put the sound thing back on. So just send me a note. You got my cell phone. Text me or whatever the case may be, and I'll make sure it gets back up there. I don't need those little slide marks. Well, here we go again. Oh, he was muted. Well, he was. I would have to have him call back and get that. Well. First of all, Marcel, what he said was, and he said, you can't put 100 black folks together without somebody getting shot. Is that a lie? Not recently. It isn't. It is. You can't go on spring break now. A bunch of black folks. Somebody gets shot. You have stuff downtown Montgomery, Alabama. Somebody gets shot. I mean, we may not like to hear it, but it is what it is. And again, the problem being is that we are not raising our kids, and there are not enough men who are there to wield some discipline. I mean, listen, we just got to be honest about it. Okay, I'm not going to anything with a whole bunch of people at it my color. I'm not going. Not the young folks anyway. The old folks, yeah, do it. But I'm just not going to go. And a lot of people don't want to go. I mean, until we deal with this issue, there are going to be a lot of cities in America. They're going to be nothing but chocolate city. Okay, there are going to be a lot of cities in America that the white population will disappear, and when they disappear, they're disappearing with the money. Okay, with the jobs. So we need to do something about this. And we need to start holding men accountable for the actions of their children. Every child, and I say this with the greatest of confidence, every child has a father. He may not have a dad, but every child has a father. And what that means, and so what we need to do is, if we can find that father, we need to handle him. Okay, I know it was 15 minute. It was a 15-minute good time, but now you got 18 years of hell. But we need to handle that. Okay, we need, as a group, as black men, we need to hold other black men responsible for, accountable to us as the village, as we say, as a village. We need to hold them accountable. We don't play basketball with them if we know they got kids out there they're not taking care of. Okay, we don't go to football games with them. We don't do nothing with them. We shun them, just like are those Mormons that shun? I think I don't know what they are. I think they're Mormons. They shun you. Okay, we need to do that. Okay, if you know that they're not doing what they need to do, probably need to put them in a room and put a pad on his butt, because this is what's happening in America in the hood. This is what's happening. And we don't talk about it, because then we come up with these excuses. Well, what happened in 1962? That's got nothing to do with not being accountable for your children. It's got nothing to do with it. Okay, I'm just saying. And until we can have that conversation, we can talk all day. All we're gonna hear every day is another black man getting shot by another black man. And white folks do it too. But I will tell you, they don't do it the way we do it. We got them beat. We got them beat. If I go to Google right now, and let's say I type in, let's see, Google. Let me see if I'm right. If my theory is right here, I go to Google. Young black male, MAL, young black male shot, SHOT. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. How many come up? Oh, wow. Man, a victim of a Sunday shooting in Pritchard, Alabama, died. 5 people, including the shooter who fled the scene, are wanted by authorities. Oh, here's one right here. 2 days ago, Tuscaloosa shooting after a fight began. Okay, here's another one. A day ago, a person on Facebook shot. Here's another, KOLO. Man fatally shot. All these are black folks. Shielding his mother from gunfire. shielding his mom from gunfire. So, yeah, we can't get around it. We just can't get around it. It's a shame. But anyway, there are right now in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I just put up about 300 different shootings by black people, where black folks were shot. Not died, but were shot in the last week. So we got a problem. We got a problem. It's not our imagination anymore. You active black folks do not. Okay, see, you're missing the point again. You active black folks do not have money or jobs to buy things. You think if your people move out of here, we're going to die? That's not the point. The point is, why should people have to leave? And that's black and white folk, leave their neighborhoods because we have not taken care of our responsibility to our numbnut kids. Why do people? That's black and white people. Why? And let's be honest. When you build a house, I was going down the street the other day looking at houses, and the first thing on my mind when I'm looking at these houses, that prospective houses that were for sale, the first thing on my mind, where are the windows located at? Okay. You know why I wanted to know where the windows were located? Seriously, you know why? And it was interesting. I wanted to know where the windows were located. How far would a person have to jump up or get up there to break in my house? Okay. That's what I have to think. That's what we have to think about now. How much would it cost to put bars on the windows to encase my house? Because you can't stop people from breaking in your house. Okay. So, and let me tell you something. I'm not scared of the what do you call the white kids? White W something? We call ours YNs. Well, the YWs, I'm not really scared about that. I don't really worry about them because we have allowed our communities to be infested by people with no training, no discipline. And the fathers will walk around playing basketball. Okay. Oh, here's my buddy right here. Here she is right here. I wonder what her solution to the. I thought you were supposed to come on Friday. I thought you were supposed to be. I thought you
I
were
can
supposed to be
come.
Friday.
I can come tomorrow. I was just,
Yeah,
excited about coming to
yeah, I
see
know.
you.
I got you, but we got you. I got you down for Friday.
Okay, well, I can pop out and come back and see you tomorrow.
Well,
That's not a problem.
Well, wait a minute. What you running for House of Representatives,
State Senate, District
state
25.
Senate? Oh, you want to be another Vivian Figures? Yeah, I hear
I
you.
mean, I have no problem with the Vivian Figures, but I want to be a Phaedra Carson Foster.
Yes, and you running
Yeah.
as a Democrat?
Yes, I am,
How come?
because I'm a Democrat.
But what does that mean?
Well, now, right now, it really means that we have a system that kind of forces you to choose a party. And
Mm.
I think even if somebody was wanting to switch parties, not saying that I would, there's a rule in the Republican Party that you have to vote Republican for 6 years because they've just kicked somebody out who tried to qualify, who had voted for 5.5 years. And I think if she was elected, it would have been her 6th year. So we have a system right now that's really forcing people to make
So the
choices.
people. So what we got here, we got the hens. I mean, we got the foxes watching the hen house.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
make the rules. They make the rules, and you can't do anything unless you can try to get by them. And they're not gonna surrender that. But tomorrow we can talk a little bit about that and other things. So what time you showing up? 8:00? Yeah, 8:00.
that's if I can come at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you just make sure you're ready. Okay.
Okay, I'll be ready.
See,
You
Tell your
have a
husband,
great.
tell your husband I said hi.
I will tell him you said hello.
Okay.
And you be ready for tomorrow.
I'm gonna be ready. Okay,
All right.
my middle name is Freddie because I'm always ready.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's good to see you this morning. I'll see you
Okay.
later. Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, that's my guess for tomorrow. Okay. But anyway, so we need some intellect right now. Please stay. Oh, so you think I'm wrong? Okay. So you think you think I'm wrong that our problem in our communities is us? Is our little heathen kids who don't have any discipline? The fathers walked away and mamas let them go. I mean, you think that, come on. Tell the truth, shame the devil. I'm not worried about one white child coming to my neighborhood breaking in my house. Not one. Not one. But now I'm not saying it don't happen. But just because somebody else does it doesn't mean that we have to do it. And it's a conversation we just can't have. And black women, y'all have the problem. Oh yeah, y'all have the problem. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Camilla, your species, your part of the species is half the problem. Okay? Because right now, you see, you are now pull up 5 good things. The good things we don't have to pull up because they work for themselves. It is the bad things that go on in our communities and people robbing our houses, killing each other. Those are the things that hurt us. Good stuff don't hurt us. Okay, it just don't hurt us. So I'm just saying. See, and therein lies the problem. We will not acknowledge as a people our problem is us. Okay, we just don't. I mean, I just put up 300 cases, not dead, cases of black kids getting shot. Black folk, not everybody. Now, if I pull up for everybody getting shot, then okay. Well, I don't care about everybody. I happen to be black. I'm not really not black. I'm brown. But for this conversation, I'll be black. So for this conversation, I'm black, and we won't have it. We can't have it no place where you're conflating 2 issues. Really? Discipline? Fathers being dads? What is the problem with that word dad out there? And listen, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of young black males who are doing a great job. They really are. But you don't hear about the good ones. All we hear about every day. Now, if we had a part in the newspaper where we could put good deeds and bad deeds and we could put them right next to each other, then I'm good with you. Yeah, let's do good deeds, but we don't. You know what I mean? If it bleeds, it leads. It gives a contextual misrepresentation of black men. It does. Because I just looked up 300 shootings in the last month. 300. Okay. So, and in Washington, D.C., hell, they yeah, I'm black. In Washington, D.C., hell, they are stealing from the what do you call them people that guard the president? They stealing from him. They hijacking Secret Service. Oh, we got another guest in. Oh yeah, this is the guy I've been waiting for right here. What's going on, Pastor Knight?
I'm hanging, Doc. How you doing this morning?
I'm trying to have the conversation that we can't ever have, and
let's have that conversation. I heard you. Let's have that conversation.
Yeah. Well, let's have it. What are we gonna do about it?
I mean, either we gonna change it or we're not. Point blank, we understand what the problem is, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Okay, so now the problem has been identified. The question becomes, and now what?
Well, that's why I depend on you, people like you.
You know what? You're not going to believe this, but I somewhat agree with you on the solution. I think that more kids need to be placed in the custody of their fathers.
Boy children, anyway.
Both, because them girls are just as wild and bad as the boys.
Yeah, they're getting there.
You know what? And I'm speaking as a father of 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to ask my children which parent you prefer to stay with, which one you think they're going to say?
Probably mama.
Right. You know
Mm.
why?
Yeah, we know why. Because
Okay.
daddy don't play.
Absolutely. Like it's just certain things that are not even up for discussion. Now, I'm not saying that some women can't be that strong parent, but most of these mothers are not. And when they go to when they come before when the kids get in trouble, the judges recognize it. But it's just something they'd rather not talk about.
Now, Willie asked a question that's kind of redundant because we always legislate morality. If you steal, you go to jail.
Right?
If you break in somebody's house, you're supposed to go to jail. A lot of times you won't, because we can't catch you. So we are in the business of legislating morality. I think the proper question: how do you make people adhere to it? Okay,
I mean, look at what we're doing now, right? Right?
What?
My thing is this. We have to stop doing what we're doing and start doing what we're not doing.
That's true.
All these charismatic cliches are useless.
And this right here, this woman on the screen, is half the problem. We ain't supposed to talk about black folks who doing stupid things. Okay. Well, I don't care about the other group. My children are black.
Well, here's the thing.
My neighborhood,
women
are half the problem.
I say this right here. They have they actually come together and have meetings when theirs are, in some type of trouble. They come together about if they need rehab or counseling or something. They come together, but we just don't.
We don't, because
we don't.
Camilla said we trying to demean the black race.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
We love the black race. That's why we can't understand why we, after going through 400 years of slavery, 400 years of being misused and abused,
But I'm gonna say this right here too, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blame black women, just them by themselves. I'm not gonna blame
50%.
black men. I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
Some guys don't need to have no children. If you know you don't want to be bothered, don't make them babies. To the women, if you know you're not ready to be a mother, don't do what it takes to become one. And that's just flat out what it is. If you're not ready to parent or, to take on that responsibility, don't do it.
Well, how about let's not talk about morality at the moment. What about a culture? Morality has to have some logic and reason attached to it. If I don't care if you don't believe in nothing but yourself, I'm pretty sure you don't want somebody breaking in your house, killing you, and stealing what you got.
No.
Okay. Well, however many years of slavery it was, we certainly don't need to be enslaved ourselves. Okay.
No, we don't. But you know what?
Our own children. Yeah.
I've said this before to a couple of matter of fact, to a judge. I'm not gonna call his name right now. But I made the comment can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I made the comment.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, give me a second, Charles. I'll get right to you. Yeah, go ahead.
I made the comment, if we give these kids to the fathers, I believe crime would go down in our community.
I believe it would too. Absolutely would. Absolutely. Charles, good morning.
Good morning to you, my brothers.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I can only hear you. I can't hear Reverend Dr. Pastor Knight while I'm talking. Mm-hmm. Can you bring us in so we can hear each other?
Well, I think it's kind of like a radio thing. You guys say, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah blah blah. Out, and then the other guy got to talk.
Oh, I see. It got you like a two-way radio.
Right.
What I wanted to say was, we got two very intelligent young men on the air together this morning. Glad to have y'all there. Good.
Glad to hear from you, Delahaye.
I will hear one say a rhetorical question. I guess don't mean a whole lot. How many? And I don't want both of you all to speak at once. How many people do you think need to hear this, what you're talking about right now, that's listening?
Probably very
Kevin,
few.
you go first.
Well, I
Nobody.
think
Okay,
everybody,
you're right.
anybody with
I
kids.
agree. Now, I said, how many people do you think are listening that need to hear it? In other words,
Okay.
I'm simply trying to say, since you don't ever seem to get it, I'm simply trying to say, not don't have the conversation, but I'm simply trying to say, I'm simply saying, the people that need to hear it is never listening.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, you got a point there. You got, but hopefully,
That's all I'm saying.
hopefully somebody might, tell them.
If they're not listening and you tell them, what good they're going to do?
So how do we get to them then?
I mean, I didn't say don't do it.
No, I'm
just making an observation.
But
in other words, you always hear the people say, but people need to hear that.
Right.
They ain't listening. But that's all I was bringing out.
No, and I think you're right.
We need the conversation, and it needs to be said.
I think we have the conversation for our own self.
We never get to the ones that really need to hear, because they busy doing the mischief that you're talking about. While we talking about doing something about it, they still doing it.
Okay, I want to respond to something that I just read, Kevin, when he gets done.
All right, Charles. Thank you, man.
Okay, y'all have a good one, Pastor. Morning
yes,
to
sir.
you.
Yes, sir. So one of the statements that was made was some of the fathers are a disaster, and that's not the answer. Not the answer. It says men don't like changing diapers. Let me stop right there. Let me deal with that one.
I've done some.
It's not about what you like doing. Like I stated, I have 5 girls. 5. I'm just one. I got so used to it at 1, 2, 3. That's how you change them diapers. But I say this right here. It takes 2 to make it. You do have some men that are just flat out unfit. Don't get me wrong. But you got some women that just flat out cannot. They can't by themselves. They just cannot. And I feel, I was talking to one of the judges, the family court judge, and he just so happened to agree with me. He said, a lot of times they see where the father is in he has a better setup than the mother, but they still leave the physical custody with the mothers. I asked him why. He just smiled. He never gave me an answer as why, but you and I both know why. They make more money with the kids being with the mother as opposed to with the father. Can they make a mother pay child support? Yes, but it's not that often. It's more beneficial to make the guy pay the child support. But if we're talking about saving the child, most men, most guys that be down there in the family court are more stable than a lot of the women. Why not make the switch and let's see what happens? Let's stop doing the same thing. If you keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result, that is the definition of insanity. So clearly we see, okay, she can't get it done by herself. She done lost control of her son. She done lost control of her daughter. Let's swap them. Stop saying what can't happen and try it. Stop whining about the ones that are a disaster and give them a shot. You think about it. And when you get these women that do the best they can, don't get me wrong, Kevin. This is the conversation that should have been had decades ago. I'm not saying they can't, but we're seeing where a lot of them just flat out can't anymore. So let's try something different. For some, it's going to save them. For some, it's not. But doing the same thing over and over again, it's not smart.
Well, that's true. That's true. And I must admit to you, what you're saying is true. My mother, she was a quote unquote single mother. And I got to an age where she said, "Come here, I'm going to whoop you." I said, "Okay, which side you want?" It wouldn't bother me no more. Okay, there's the belt. Okay, here, which side you want? It didn't bother me at all.
I'll tell you something else too, man. Having 5 girls, I can speak for myself. I was looking at one of the comments. I'm gonna have 5 son-in-laws. Yeah, yeah, but I give them the image of what a father and a husband should be like. I set the tone for the guys that are gonna come behind me that are gonna date my daughters. I set the tone. They see daddy reading in his Bible. They see daddy preparing for Sunday. They see daddy going to work day in and day out. They see the example of what a man is supposed to do. When we used to go out, because some of my girls are grown now. I used to take them all out. We'd go out to certain restaurants. They know how a woman is supposed to be treated. I'm teaching them how a man is supposed to treat them. A lot of these kids that are growing up, especially young girls, don't even know how they're supposed to be treated and dated. A lot of these young men that are growing up in these single parent homes don't even know how to properly treat a woman because nobody has told them and showed them. So I honestly believe, look, let's try something different. We've been doing this one way for so long. Let's try something different. It can't hurt, right?
Right. Right. So what do you suggest we try differently?
Putting the kids with the daddies. It's just that simple. If you got a person to hold accountable for child support, you got a person to actually swap custody of. Give them to the daddy. Give them to the father. Quit worrying about what he gonna do. They'll figure it out. Let them get up and I ain't gonna say make bottles because they'll be old. Let them have to go up to the schools a couple of times because their kids are cutting up. Let them have to be the one to get that phone call that their child is messing up. I guarantee you, he gonna nip it day one. He's not gonna like having to go to the school because his son or daughter's up there cutting up. He gonna deal with it.
Yep, he is. I had to do something right quick there.
You had to go to the bathroom, Kevin?
No, brother. I had to go get my milk. Got to have, milk. I didn't realize this until the other day. Milk gives you high cholesterol. I did not know that. And I drink like 2 gallons a week. So I gotta cut that down. I can't be drinking all that milk, I guess. I don't know.
No, Big Daddy Kane got 6 kids.
Let me ask you something. Do you think it's more difficult? You don't have any sons?
None.
So you didn't hardly do no work.
What?
You didn't hardly do no work. Somebody else did all the work.
I don't understand.
Well, you ain't got no son, so mama must have been doing all the work.
They say the boys make the girls. You do the math.
Okay. I don't know. Well, Lord, I wouldn't want 5 girls. Oh, no. All them fools coming to the house, and you know what's on their mind. You know them because you know what a boy thinking, what a young man thinking.
Absolutely. And you know what? There goes where real parenting skills start to kick in. You ain't no fool. And you know what? Mm-hmm. When you see it in one, they teach the others. Okay. And you start seeing it.
Answer. You're a pastor in the church. You do, and not only are you a pastor, you have a flock of people that you're concerned about in your church. You got a flock at home. Mm-hmm. You got a flock on your job. You interact with people all the time. But why is it that it's difficult to have? And now she was right about one thing. Charles is right about one thing. How do we talk to the young folks that need to hear this? I don't know how you talk to them.
Each one reach one. Mm-hmm. Just like me and you were sitting here having this conversation. Mm-hmm. We need to engage. We engage on everything else. If they wanted to go to a game, or if you saw them at a game, you'll engage about what Auburn is doing or Alabama's doing. And you see, we make conversation everywhere we go. Grocery stores. Hey, engage right where you are. When you see something, encourage them. Don't just go to them and beat them down. No, encourage them. Hey, look, you know what? You're pretty smart. What do you do for a living? They're gonna tell you, okay, well, look, keep your head on the swivel, doc. Don't let them girls get you messed up, or don't let them boys get you messed up. You can always have the conversation once you establish somewhat of a talking relationship.
Mm-hmm. But people like Camilla says, well, here you go talking about black folks again. I'm black.
Man, I'm not thinking about that. I'm tired of burying our kind. I'm tired of our kind going to prison. I'm tired of us repeating the cycle. Maybe, and I haven't read, she said, Kevin is not gonna, I can't see the comments like you can, but we gotta break the chain. If you don't want it to be talked about, don't let it happen. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. Then we won't be having this conversation. But right now, we're going to have this conversation. So if the feelings get hurt, man, look, log off. But we're going to have this conversation right now. That's the problem. We've been putting this conversation to the side for so long. And guess what? If you don't deal with it, the problem is not going to go away.
Mm-hmm. And let's be frank. It's not all women's fault. It's 50-50.
I never said it was.
I tell you, it's a 50-50 proposition.
I never said it was.
I didn't say you. Yeah. But it's a 50-50. Now, I think women, because they get stuck with the loaf of bread, they should be more cautious about who they deal with.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
They're the one got the bread's gonna be in their oven.
But you're the one that put the seed there, right?
Yeah, but men and women are different in that aspect. We going where it's warm.
No, that's where they go. I can't agree with that. That's what they do.
It's true. Men are different than women when it comes to sex.
I mean, but at the same time, like I said, there's certain things we're both equally responsible to a degree.
Yes, we are.
We know what we're doing. Once again, I've always told you two words.
Some of us do. And some of
us. Accountability and responsibility. So you go out there and you do it.
Yeah.
You're going to be held accountable.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so I can't say it's the one. Kevin, my oldest daughter, I had her extremely young, but her mama was never alone. Mm-hmm. Her mom went on into the military, retired out of the Navy. Our daughter is teaching kids. As a matter of fact, she's 28. Mm-hmm. She'll be 29 this year. She's teaching, she's been teaching at this elementary school. She loves kids. That's what she do. My next daughter, I got two. One is in college. She's over there at Auburn. I got one that's about to graduate, one that's going to graduate next year, and I got one that's 13.
Right, but those aren't the ones we worry about.
No.
So how do we reach the ones I still say a woman has at least 60% of the responsibility when it comes to kids, because women know when they can get pregnant and when they cannot get pregnant. If they don't know that, then something's wrong.
Okay.
Men will get what you give them. Okay. Now, once that man's got to understand, well, if you happen to give her something, you need to take care of it. Okay. But women still hold 60 it's a 60-40 deal. I mean, don't do it.
Let me catch something that Willie Durham just stated. He said that we all have these laws and rarely enforce them. Child support is ordered and not enforced. If men had to pay, they'll slow down. I totally disagree. They got this thing called an IWO, income withholding. And they hit it on you from that day. What it's gonna do is make us be held accountable and knowing who we're laying up with at all times. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I've never been one of those ones that have not wanted to pay their fair share. In fact, I'm just one that's recently taken off. But if we look at it, Kevin, what they were asking me to give, I did that. Plus, like I said, my daughters are with me the bulk of the time, were the ones that was on. So, the money part, but it goes back to, accountability and responsibility. I was determined that my kids were not going to be one of those ones that were going to be caught up in the system or being a statistic. They were not just going to have a daddy; they had a father.
Yeah, Willie.
Reverend Knight, IWO. I hear you. If that was factual, that they enforced it, then that means that a man would rarely get behind on child support. There's
That means
cases
you
where
know who
people
the
are
guy
$12,000,
was.
$15,000 in arrears. How does that happen if he has a Social Security number and he's working and we're enforcing it? How does that happen if we have IWO?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, well, I hear you. I don't know if you
Willie, can you hear me?
Well, just,
And
it's a
I
delay.
submit we're not enforcing it.
Can
It's
he
a
hear
delay.
me?
So it's a delay. So you go ahead and speak, and then he'll hear it, and then he'll respond.
Okay. As a matter, when you fall, when them guys fall like that, that's because they've been in a relationship and they can't prove that they were actually doing anything for them, for the child. Most of the time when you go to family court, and I do know this for a fact, the judge get to asking you questions. Can you prove certain things? Most of these guys cannot. You know, put your kids on your insurance or show where you done bought some stuff for these kids. You know, show where you've been active. When you catch those that get caught up with a $10,000 or $15,000 in the rears, these are primarily those that can't prove that they were taking care of their child from the beginning. So no, it's no excuse. And the IWO is income withholding. And I don't, you know, like I say, I've been in the system. I don't have a problem with it. We're not going to sit here and fabricate and make up these crazy scenarios. Most of the guys that fall behind like that are not taking care of their kids out the gate, and they are a part of the problem.
Did you hear him, Willie?
Yeah, I hear him, but I do know that's partially true. But some women are slow to say who the father is, and so I think that if we had truly the support from the guys, they would slow down out here just populating the world. So I think it's an enforcement issue. I hang up and listen, Kevin. Thanks for taking the call. Reverend Knight, thanks for coming on and sharing your views.
Yes, sir. I want to kind of piggyback off of something else that he just said. Like I said, it falls 50-50. And we have to deal with it. Let's stop kicking the can down the road. Is the system perfect? Absolutely not. But once paternity has been established, get one of your attorneys to come on and ask them about what I'm telling you. I'm not telling you something I heard. I'm telling you I've been through the system. So I'm telling you what I know. That's why when I got placed on, I didn't have an arrearage because I had been there from the beginning. You know, it can prove I had been doing my part from the beginning. It just picked up right then. And then guess what, Kevin? The money they're asking for, the money part is not even the problem, man. My kids deserve more than they deserve the world. They deserve the best. They got what was ordered, plus it had nothing to do with the birthdays, the holidays, because they don't care nothing about it and they're not going to be affected by it. They still went out. I still did the nails things that the girls like to do. I still took them to the stores they wanted to go to. We still went out. We've been vacation and all kind of things. They still had, in spite of, but I said that to say this, it's up to us as parents to change their condition, to change the situation. Each one got to reach one, but you know, we just can't continue to do the same thing expecting a different result.
Hey,
not at all.
Marty, turn that down, and I got you on there.
Okay.
Yeah, what's
all
up?
right. Hey, look, yeah, I agree that we're 50-50 corporable.
I say 60-40. 60-40.
No, I think we're 50-50, because we need to be more selective of the women that we lay down with.
Amen.
We're not animals. We have, or we should practice some control. We're not animals where we just walk and lay down with anybody. It shouldn't be that way. You have some that will, but the men should be more.
Hey, Marty, let me ask you. There's a good story in the Bible. Wait a minute. If we so much in control, one of the greatest men in the Bible got overtaken by that stuff.
Yes, Kevin, but also in Exodus it speaks of us. I know, Kevin, with David and everybody.
That's
but
right.
I just want to. But I want to say this, Kevin. We as men are responsible with choosing who we lay down with, just as women are responsible who they choose to lay down with as well. And when it happens, it happens. But I do believe that men, we should be more culpable, like Willie Durham said. If we paid and we were forced to pay, and the system was a little bit better and stronger with that, I think that we'll be a little bit more careful. But I will say this to you, Kevin. What I've noticed is that, and I don't know if you all noticed this, but there's a decrease in childbirth, from what
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed in the nation. And I think stats says that. I don't know if it's because we can't afford them, or it's just that we're being a little bit more thoughtful about it, or, you know, but there's a decrease in childbirth. It's not to say it's not happening, but there is a decrease in that. But we just need to be more responsible, especially as a community of people, because we see what happens in this nation when we're not involved in our children's lives.
Well, that's true. I don't know why there's a slowdown in it. Maybe
Yes, we do.
I said maybe people tired of paying child support. I mean,
No.
It's just, you know, I don't know what it is and why it is. I think we're practicing.
Yes, we do. We understand why.
I think that again, we're realizing that it is pretty expensive to raise a child in this economy. You know, it could just be a number of things. And then another thing too, it's not as though we wait until we get married to have children, but a lot of people are not marrying these days. I polled a group of kids, and I asked them, out of 20, I said, how many of you all want to have kids one day? Out of the 20, I think you had 8. And I said, well, how many of you all want to be married one day? Out of the 20, you know, and out of the 8 that said that they want, you know, have children, only 4 out of the 20 said they wanted to be married one day. So it's generational. I think the more and more we do not preach union and marital, you know, relations or what have you, you know, you're going to have that, Kevin.
Yeah, well, I'm leaving that up to people like people. Appreciate it. Not to people like Willie.
I want to touch on what he just said. We're very aware of why the population is decreasing. See, this generation is a little bit wiser than the generation before them. So, you know, you get to looking around, and this person's pent down with kids that they can barely take care of and can't really do nothing for themselves. They tend to not to want to fall in the same boat. Relationships are not like what they used to be. Kevin, you got STD. People are more aware of the STDs and all different types of things that are going on right now. So, you know, I can understand why the birth rates have dropped. Also, women are, you know, with the birth control, the contraceptive, all that stuff, they're doing their thing for those that are, you know, that. And then the men, they're doing what they have to do to not make babies, not including the LG, you know, the homosexual community. They're not going to make no babies, but people just don't want them. A lot of them don't want that responsibility. And then when it pertains to marriage, we hear more devastating things. It's almost like you get married and you have to protect yourself. You be expecting a divorce. If that's not the case, then the word prenuptial the prenups would not be as popular as they are. We just saw where NFL quarterback Dak Prescott was engaged to this woman for God knows how long. And they hadn't set a wedding date. You know, they called the wedding off because she didn't want to sign the prenup. He just got a signing bonus of I think it was $240 million.
Yeah,
he asked her to sign a prenuptial agreement. She said no. He called the wedding off. So people are starting to protect their assets more, you know, for those that have it.
Yeah.
Even those that don't have it to that level, they're still trying to protect their monies. And they know if the relationship or the situationship don't work out, it's going to be detrimental to their pockets.
And it's always detrimental to the man most of the time.
Okay. And that's why they're slow to engage. They're not as quick to want to engage in these relationships. If you knew that picking the wrong woman was going to cost you your career, would you pick her?
My career I wouldn't worry about, but cost me my money? No, I wouldn't pick her.
That's what I'm saying. Your career, your money. Would you marry her?
No.
Okay, and that's what they're looking at. When, like you say, I listened to what Mr. Marty saying. He's right. A lot of people think about that. Why would I go to school 12 years and then another 4 years to get to get the job that I dreamed of, get the job, get in a relationship that don't work out, and then the next 15 to 20 years, I got to split my revenue with somebody because I made a poor decision.
Yeah, that's true too.
And that's both ways. That's both ways, men and women.
One more thing here. Andre Mall says 80 to 81% of white homicide victims are killed by white offenders. It's not the issue of who's doing the killing. It's how many are being killed. I realize most people will kill people that they kind of know or the same group. I got that part. But again, a few minutes ago, I just put in black male shot. I came up with 300 in the last couple of days. across America. 300 black males who got shot. White folks don't do that. Okay, they do they bit of dirt too. But does that mean that our kids got to follow the same pattern? I mean, okay, listen. I wish there was no black folks killing each other. I just wish it wasn't. So what's that got to do with anything?
Hey, I want to touch something that I saw.
Yeah.
Miss Camilla Hooks said that she says, see, Kevin, according, you pretty much blame women, Kevin. Camilla Oliver and Camilla Hooks. Let me say this.
60% of the responsibility.
Nah, it's 50-50, Kevin. We know. Look here.
No.
Oh,
a man can't have a baby.
We're 50%. She didn't 60% make the child. She 50% made.
But she did not see. A woman can determine if she has kids or not.
We could determine whether we get her pregnant or not.
No, we can't.
Yes, we can.
We can't.
We're the ones that get them pregnant. They've never had a baby without us. We pick them.
Yeah, but they can just say no and then to the right moment.
Then you'll go to the next woman. But it's 50-50.
I don't know. The women,
it's 50-50.
Does the woman have to carry the baby?
Yeah, well, she carries it. We carry it until we give it to her.
Yeah, I know that. I know that part. But she carries the baby, so therefore, ought not she be a little bit more responsible to when she can get pregnant or not?
No, shouldn't you be more responsible on who you pick out to impregnate?
And I hear you, but God made us the predator, and He gave the woman the prey.
But how many times are you going to run into a brick wall before you realize it's a brick wall? It makes you analyze that wall a little differently.
We'll just take one time,
Okay.
But again, though, but let's stop letting the women off.
I'm not letting them off. Did you not just hear me say they don't need custody once it's been shown that they can't handle the kid?
Well, that's true, but I still say it's a 60-40 proposition.
I disagree.
They got a little bit more responsibility in doing that than a man getting pregnant than a man does.
This is insane. She cannot get pregnant without you.
I understand that, but you can have sex without getting pregnant.
Both parties can.
Right. Well, man, we just put it where we got to put it. But the woman has to know her own body to know if she. What's that?
I'm gonna say it like this, Kevin. Yeah. We have to be better. We got to do a better job of picking out women we choose to start families with.
And they need to do a better job picking out men.
That's a whole nother conversation.
They do. They do. Anyway, man, our time is up, but it was we have you back. That's one of those conversations that has no end to it.
I'm gonna tell you like this before you get off, Kevin. Yeah. Forgive those women that did you in.
Did nobody do me? And I was 50% part of the responsibility. But women still can determine whether or not they get pregnant or not.
Forgive them, Kevin. You'll feel a lot better, man. I'm telling you.
We don't even need birth control pills if a woman knew her body.
Forgive them, Kevin.
Yeah, I do.
Forgive them.
Yeah.
Let it go. It's okay. Let it go. They gave you beautiful kids. Let it go.
Listen, my children had great moms. I ain't got no problem.
Okay.
I ain't got no problem none of that at all, brother.
All right. That's the most positive thing you said about the women.
Although I do think that men get screw glued and tattooed often when it comes to.
They do, but we're the heads. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Let it go, Kel. Okay. We got to do a better job on both sides.
Yeah, we do. We do. Well, thank you, Reverend. That's why I had you on the month so you can tell us the truth.
I do my best.
You do your best. Well, I got to run. Appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you next month.
All right.
Appreciate. Oh, wait a minute. We didn't talk about the office you're running for.
The SDEC. It's a committee seat with the Democrat. We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, we can. Okay. Appreciate it. Gotta go, everybody. My time is just about up. Yes. See, even though there's another woman out there, now keep preaching the word. Come on. There is another woman out there, Kevin. I don't know why y'all thinking. I'm just talking scientifically. Scientifically, a woman has control over whether or not she gets pregnant. Okay. And therefore, when she does get pregnant, it seems to me that she didn't do something, because now what they tell me, even taking birth control pills don't guarantee you're not gonna get pregnant. So a woman, but there is a way that women, you don't have to get pregnant every time you go to do the hoopty doopty. Okay. Anyway, yeah. I'm not mentoring anybody. Yeah, I think every man should take care of his own kids, and that would nobody needs mentoring. But there are some men who don't believe that. Most women want kids. What does it say? Most women want kids, and there's a biological clock. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, this is like the chicken and the egg argument. Kevin is slow. Sometimes I am. Anyway, I gotta go. Let's have a great afternoon, everybody. Great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. And Farrah's coming. Farrah Foster, she's coming tomorrow, running for the state senate. As a matter of fact, let's see if she's ready or not. Okay, let's just see if she's ready for that awesome responsibility. Anyway, good afternoon, everybody. Hope this day finds you well, and I hope this day is the best day of your life. And don't forget, it is not the falling down that gives us the strength. It is getting up each and every time we do. So the word of the day is up. Like, keep getting up. Don't fall down and stay down. Keep moving. Keep getting up. Have a great day. In a gentle breeze, grateful heart with such sweet